Hey guys, it's John here today. We are doing a little container garden tour for you guys. Everything looks so good in the garden. The flowers are looking amazing and things still look great because we haven't gotten that cold yet. So we're in Arizona, a zone 9B, and we haven't seen our first frost yet. So let me show you guys everything we got going on in our garden. So we primarily grow a lot of things on these beautiful stair step bench. It gives a great layered effect in the garden and it's so easy to put little pots on here, but we have a lot of really pretty cabbages, as you guys can see here. We have this red color. Um, I know it looks purple, but it's sold as red. It's really pretty. I love these fringed leaves to it. They come in this beautiful red, and then there's a white one down there. Kind of gives a really gorgeous, like frosty vibe as well. We're experimenting with a few other things as well. There's an ornamental kale right next to it at the bottom there. That's really pretty. It's a dwarf variety. I don't know exactly what the name is, but it's only supposed to get 6 inches tall, which is great for the stair step bench. But we have some gorgeous Dusty Miller on here as well for a beautiful, like silver lacy vibe to it. Great for winter. Winter interest is always important. But of course, we always have a lot of this beautiful alyssum here. It's a really easy flower to grow, and white always goes with winter in the garden. It kind of brightens up the space a little bit when it's kind of dark during the nights. And then over here, you guys can see we have a lot of really pretty dragon's breath celosia still. Usually they're kind of nipped by the frost by now, but we've had a pretty warm December so far, so they're still looking great. And I think they're going to be gorgeous for Christmas. Same with these coxcombs. These coxcombs usually have gotten nipped by the frost by now, but they still look really pretty in these pots here, and I think they're just great, great in the garden for that Christmas crimson color. But they go really well with these beautiful white cabbages as well, like I showed you guys earlier, but we have a ton of them in the garden. I absolutely love just like touching them too. They're so fun to touch. So we have two celotias flanking that bench. And then back here we have these beautiful mahogany splendors hibiscus plants, and they've actually lost a ton of their leaves because it's been below 50, which usually these plants don't like it below 50. But it exposed these beautiful stems that are great in this garden that kind of gives that red twig dogwood moment. Oh my gosh, sprinklers went off. But it's absolutely beautiful. And they've been blooming these blood red flowers. They're not blooming right now, but I'll show you guys a picture of them when they are blooming on the screen here. But they're so pretty. They usually don't bloom for people in northern gardens just because the growing season is just too short for that. But here, growing season is so long that we can get them to bloom, and they're so pretty when they bloom for us. So underneath the mahogany splendors hibiscus, we still have some really pretty dragon's breath celosias that look absolutely great. We actually tucked in some roses here, which we have never done before, but we had roses left over from a project, so I think they look absolutely stunning for the Christmas time. Just with these beautiful white roses. These are iceberg roses. They're pretty standard roses around here, but we love, 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 love using them in arrangements. But down below, we have more cabbages. These are the flat leaf. I call them flat leaf because they're just not nearly as frilly as the other ones, but this is the white one. It has a really pretty rosy center to it, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then we have a red one right here, super pretty. And then we have some Alternithera still. Doesn't love the colder weather, but I think it's a great touch of purple to go with the red. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then below that, we have a nice drift of this beautiful alyssum that wraps all the way around here. That makes a really great base for this stair step bench with more white cabbages, the Dusty Miller, of course, the alyssum of red coxcombs. The red coxcombs are a Brainiac Raven red coxcombs that are absolutely stunning. I'll link those below for you guys. And then we have this beautiful, I believe it's called lambium. Labium? I don't know the exact name of it, but it's a really gorgeous, like silvery green plant. It's in the mint family somewhere, but it's a perennial up north in colder climates, but they do really well for us in containers here. So wrapping around here, we have more of the cabbages down below that are super stunning. And then our last bench kind of has more of the same with the dragon's breath celosia, the coxcombs, and the purple cabbages and kales and white. I'm always a sucker for cabbages and kales in the wintertime. And then down here, we kind of have more of the same Dusty Miller, some more labium, um, some heliotrope. These will all replace the coxcombs kind of when they start to fizzle out later on this winter. These beautiful paper whites as well will give us some height in the garden once these celotias kind of bite the bullet. Um, I don't expect them to last too much longer into the season, but when we get our first frost, we'll kind of switch out all of these plants and replace them with something else. And this is the bench on the side of our house. Orange was not the color scheme for the winter time, but I couldn't get myself to compost these beautiful dwarf peppers. So they're just hanging out here. But a lot of these blue violas will be on the stairstep bench later on this winter when the coxcombs kind of bite the dust. But it's a beautiful baby blue color. Um, it's called Marina Blue. It's in the Sorbet series. It's Marina Blue in the Sorbet series. They're really pretty. But these are a ton of seedlings that we've had. We've brought them to markets and stuff like that for you guys. But we're just potting up a lot of things for the spring months. So we have a lot of ranunculus. This is a butterfly ranunculus. Absolutely gorgeous. Love these. This is a purple one that we're trying out this year called Thiva. Dwarf snapdragons, some poppies. We're actually crate growing a lot of plants this year since we don't have our flower field. So we have a lot of anemones in here. We have the pastel violet, milky white, so that's the white one with the green center. The panda, so that's the white with the black center. And then we have the pink. It's like a Barbie pink color. And then a lot of ranunculus over here. The cream, the tango, which is a new one. This one is chamela, which is always a favorite. And then just white. White's always a nice color to have in the springtime. But we're just filling up these pots down here with just dirt right now. We'll be putting plants in them very shortly. I'm trying to show you guys. Oh, primroses. These are all the primroses that we'll have on the bench later on this spring. Those are really pretty. We have a mix of apricot, pink, and champagne this year, but look how gorgeous they look right now. Even when they're not blooming, they're just really pretty plants to have in the garden. So let me show you guys a few more things on the other side of our house, and that'll wrap up our container garden tour. I want to show you guys these plants too. It's called Serena, but it's a flower I've never grown before, but I'm excited to see them bloom. They'll probably bloom for us in like late February, March, but it's going to be a really pretty pastel color. And in the back garden, we have a lot of really gorgeous cyclamen. We went with a pastel color palette back here. So a lot of pinks, purples, and then that really gorgeous pink picotee with the white. I love this. Absolutely gorgeous. And then this is a lilac. I think there's lilac back here too, but they're so pretty. I love having them. They do well in like morning sun here and in shade. It's hard to find plants that will thrive in the shade during the cooler months of the year. There's begonias and coleus, but usually when it turns a little bit colder, they don't do nearly as well as these beautiful cyclamen do. So we always love planting a lot of cyclamen for that reason. Look how pretty these are. That wraps up our container garden tour for December of 2024. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.